for people who know and love video. Videotape. Record tape, VHS, record tapes, record video, videotape, tape, videotape, VHS, video, VHS, video cassette,
movies on video cassette, movies on video cassette.
Captain Adams Happy Hour. It's Captain Adams Happy Hour. Right here on Captain Adams VHS Pirate Ship. Captain Adams Happy Hour. It's Captain Adams Happy Hour. Right here on Captain Adams VHS Pirate Ship.
Hello, and everybody read me out there. Yes, welcome to Captain Adams Happy Hour, number one, a bit of a test stream here, just to see if all my configurations are correct. They appear to be, though this isn't as automated as I would wish it was. So if you're watching, thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll enjoy this. This will be a constant show here on Captain Adams VHS Pirate Ship. Though it won't be on Fridays, it'll more than likely be on Wednesday afternoons. So I'm just kind of seeing, testing the waters here to see, what's happening with this. As you may or may not know, Friday nights are home to Friday Night Tape Talk with Rob and the Captain. And that's featuring myself, of course, Captain Adam, and Rob from Rob's Vintage Video. So stay tuned for that coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for a very special Where's Rob edition of Captain Adams, not Captain Adams, but Friday Night Tape Talk with Rob and the Captain, the Where's Rob edition, because Rob is not going to be there. So we'll tune in and we'll see if we can figure out where Rob is exactly and what's going on with him. Hopefully he's okay. So yeah, I'm just kind of testing the waters here. I'm not too inept at live streaming, because normally Rob is the helmsman when it comes to our live streams, but today it is me, so that's why I'm just sort of testing this stuff out to see what's going on here. So, let's see here. It's a full screen. Yes. So, yeah, once I get this configured, we will get into some stuff here. Hey there, Anthony. Anthony's with us. I think you're the only one watching right now, buddy. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Let's pop you up here, see if that works. Yeah, there he is. There's Anthony. Hi, Anthony. Anthony Chabot, everyone. Yes, indeed. There he goes. Let's see here. I appreciate you checking in. There's Larry. Larry. Mr. Larry from Horrorcat Dad. Horrorcat Dad himself is here, folks. Thank you, Larry, for checking in. I do appreciate that. Thank you for hanging with me, because I am just kind of figuring this stuff out. I figure it would be better to figure it out now than it would be during Friday Night Tape Talk with Rob and the Captain later. So, we're just kind of working some stuff out. And while we're working some stuff out, let's see if I can get this to work. And let's hear a little bit from our affiliate station, WVHS FM, VHS Radio. Let's see what they have to say. Let's see what Chewy Charlie Fingers has to say. If I can get this to work, I really appreciate everyone's patience. Hopefully one day I'll be good at this. I don't know if today is today. It is not this day, but let's go ahead and hear from WVHS FM with Chewy Charlie Fingers. Let's see what he has to say.
you've got your radio locked precisely where it needs to be, right here, WVHS FM 92.7, VHS Radio Smooth Hits for your VHS fix. I'm Chewy Charlie Fingers, spinning the platters that matter and giving you heaping helpings of heavenly honey right here on WVHS FM, keeping it smooth for you all through your workday, keeping you in a mellow mood with some silky smooth milky ooze. That's right here on WVHS FM 92.7, brought to you by Captain Adam's VHS Pirate Ship on YouTube. Join the crew and hit subscribe and set sail for adventure on the high seas of VHS collecting and nostalgic retrospective. All around nostalgic fun. Captain Adam's VHS Pirate Ship on YouTube. And you can catch Captain Adam live every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on Rob's Vintage Video on YouTube for Friday Night Tape Talk with Rob and the Captain. Yes, it's the live stream with the dream team of Rob from Rob's Vintage Video and Captain Adam from Captain Adam's VHS Pirate Ship. That's Friday Night Tape Talk with Rob and the Captain every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock on the coast, right on Rob's Vintage Video on YouTube. And now let's take a look at the community events calendar and see what's happening in your area. Coming up Sunday, June 8th, is the VHS Expo 2025 Physical Media Market. That's Sunday, June 8th, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Wackahoo Grange Hall, 16412 National Pike, Hagerstown, Maryland. Yes, it's the vintage market for the modern age. Come and shop and find all kinds of VHS, Betamax, DVDs, records, Laserdisc, audio tapes, CDs, rare books, retro video games, cool shirts, and a whole lot more. That's the VHS Expo 2025 Physical Media Market. Sunday, June 8th, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Wackahoo Grange Hall, 16412 National Pike, Hagerstown, Maryland.
Oh, whoops. That was the wrong copy that WVHS FM sent me. That is not what I intended to play, but, it's okay. That's okay. That's, it's a big whatever. So that's fine. Hey, Rob. Rob's checking in. Hope you're doing well, Rob. We are wondering where you're going to be. We all are going to be tuning in to see where you are. So yes, hopefully you're doing well. Have to hang with me here, folks. Well, I tell you, this is not very laptop friendly when it comes to this stuff. So yeah, so far this show is kind of awful, but that's how it goes. That's what we're here for, folks. This is just a tester stream to see how's it going. And everybody out there, can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let's see. That's bada bing. And there's Rob. I'll go ahead and cut you off there. So how's everybody's Friday doing to you out there? Oh, thank you, Josh. You can hear me just fine. Yeah, this program on this laptop is not doing me any favors. It is all congealed into one. All the text is all weird, and this is crazy stuff. Thank you, Rob. Loud and clear, perfect. I'm just making sure all my settings should be the same as they usually are. Thank you, Larry. Yes, everybody's can hear me good. That's good. That is good. Well, that sucks about WVHS FM using the wrong copy they sent me. I don't like that very much at all. I have to have a word with them, their promotions department. But let's give something else a try here. Let's do some more shameless promotion, and I got a nice expo coming up in August. It's not a VHS expo. However, there will be some tapes there, but it's more of a toy and antique show. Well, let's go to the videotape.
Hey, now don't you want to go to the Vintage Expo? The Vintage Expo Toy and Tape Show. It's the Vintage Expo Toy and Tape Show, Sunday, August 10th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Wakahoo Grange Hall, 16412 National Pike, Hagerstown, Maryland. Come and shop and find great deals on toys and comics, collectibles, Funko Pops, Pez dispensers, Hot Wheels and die-cast vehicles, VHS, DVDs, and rare books, plus vintage board games, tons of Star Wars toys, cool shirts and nostalgic apparel, and much, much more. Hey, now don't you want to go to the Vintage Expo? Vintage Expo, Toy and Tape Show, Sunday, August 10th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Wakahoo Grange Hall, 16412 National Pike, Hagerstown, Maryland. Hey, now don't you want to go to the Vintage Expo? Free admission, free parking, all ages. The Vintage Expo, Toy and Tape Show.
Well, there you go. I know many of you aren't anywhere close to where that's going to be, but just in case you are, there it is. Just wanted to put it out there, a little shameless promotion. So that's what it is. That should be a good time. I have a lot of really interesting vendors lined up for that one. Like I said, typically I deal with VHS tapes when it comes to the expo, the live show settings, but this one is going to be more toy and comic and antique oriented. So that's going to be very, very fun because I have a lot of that stuff as well. So yeah, great stuff. So yeah, oh, excuse me. Oh, blarney. So let's get down to the nitty gritty here. How's everybody's Friday going? How was your week? Was your week okay? You made it. Here we are at Friday, and we'll be talking about this again here in about an hour or so on Friday Night Tape Talk with Rob and the Captain, which would normally be Rob and the Captain, but this week is just going to be with the Captain because there is no Rob. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him very much. I miss him already. I missed him since last week. It's immediate. It really is. You have to forgive me if I'm scatterbrained here. I'm looking at this thing here. This program does not seem to work very well with laptops. Usually it is the opposite because this program works just fine on a mobile, which isn't even a mobile app. It's just a desktop version on a mobile. And usually, you know how that goes. Usually that's a cluster mess. This, however, seems to be the opposite, to where the laptop version, desktop version, I should say, really doesn't work all that well, and the mobile version works just fine. But it's how it goes. That's how it goes. So, anyways, yes, welcome to Captain Adams Happy Hour. Please don't let this episode be an example of what is to come. I do plan on having this as a weekly stream here on Captain Adams VHS Pirate Ship. It more than likely will be on Wednesday afternoons at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is where I'm just going to be, talking about whatever, showing off some cool thrift store finds, which, if you paid attention to me in the past year or so, I've been talking about how thrift store finds really don't incorporate VHS at all, because I can't find VHS in the wild anymore. It's certainly not how it used to be. It's just not going to happen for that. There's a variety of reasons for that. There's people who they realize what they have and they don't want to just give it away for free. And they're selling it on eBay, or at least attempting to sell it on eBay. And a lot of thrift stores don't even want to deal with VHS anymore because they don't see the vision of, selling VHS, because people will buy VHS if it's there. It doesn't matter what it is. I know people who collect VHS no matter what it is. They're just going to buy it because it's so hard to come by in the wild anymore, and which I think is kind of silly, because there's a lot of crap VHS out there, as we all know, and but that doesn't matter to some people. But I always look for all kinds of stuff, and I usually find all kinds of really neat stuff out there, as long as you're looking. For example, I don't know why anybody would want this, originally, because somebody bought it and then gave it up to a thrift store, but a giant Green Lantern figure. I don't know why anybody would want this, but I bought it because it was $1, and why not? So, giant Green Lantern figure, fully posable. Well, not fully posable, but lots of articulations. And so yeah, I have a nice giant Green Lantern figure. I'm not sure what era this is from. Seems to be rather recent. Let's see if I can read the bottom of his foot here to see what the year 2014. So it is fairly recent, but this is a non-Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, just so everybody knows out there. So that's good. That's fun. Let me just throw that over there. I also found something that you sometimes you're like you find stuff you're like I don't know why I would want this, but there's just something inside me needs this. I need this, and one of them was a talking George W. Bush animated figurine, still in the package, brand new. It's even got the KB Toys price tag still on it. I have to the batteries. Hopefully the batteries have been taken out. I don't think they have. They've probably just been long dead and are corroding as we speak. But I'll have to break this out sometime just to make sure it still works, because I do want to see it work, because he sings and dances and he says stuff, and well, I just got to see this. So that's talking George W. Bush figurine. Yeah, it's not mint, but it's still in the package. It's still a pretty good find. Absolutely had to have it, and it always pays to. Well, if you can't find VHS, always look for the DVDs, because you can always find some pretty good stuff. And one of which, what I found recently, was the Police Squad full series. Police Squad. If not familiar, this is what the Naked Gun film series is based on. You probably already know that, but if you don't, that's what it is. This was a very short run series. There's only 6 episodes, so the complete series fits on one disc. Only 6 episodes. I'm not sure if they really meant for that to happen, or they wanted to continue the series, or if this was just like a mini series, or they wanted to have like a full, series going on for many years, but it was just canceled. I'm not sure. I want to think they just wanted to do 6 episodes, and these are really, really extremely funny. If you haven't seen these, I mean, this is just the Abrams at their best. So this is good stuff. Police Squad. Excuse me. Very happy to have that, and another good find. Always look in the glasswares, because you'll find some pretty cool stuff in the glassware section. Not often, but sometimes you will. Today I found Constable Big Mac McDonald Lane glass from. Is there a year on this son of a bitch? I don't think there's a year on this, but yeah, this is very, very early stuff. Of course, the McDonald Lane characters have long since been phased out, but back in the day, there was a character for pretty much every food item on the menu, and Constable Big Mac was, of course, for Big Macs. The Constable Big Mac, he was the law and order from McDonald Land. He was the law. He was like Judge Dredd of hamburgers. He was, yes, he laid down the law in McDonald Land. If you got out of line, you'd be serving hard time with Constable Big Mac. And now I have the Constable Big Mac glass. Lucky for me. Heaven forbid. And you know what? I should say, let me take that back. I did find a VHS about 2 weeks ago, but it was the only one. And I should say it's a great one. A Cadillacs and Dinosaurs episode, for what it's worth. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, it was a cartoon show. However, it wasn't aired in the local market where I was growing up. So I didn't really see it. But I knew about it through the comic books and all that. So, but yeah, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs wasn't really that big of a thing where I grew up. But now I have a VHS. Really wasn't too thrifty of a price, because this was behind their glass. They have like a glass cabinet at the front gate. Front counter, where their pricier stuff is. A lot of thrift stores think they're antique stores anymore, and I don't really like that too much. But this is where it was. It was $5, but it's whatever. So yeah, it's the only VHS I found in a good long while in a thrift store. It's Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, and that's what it is. Happy to have that. Let's take a look at some comments here. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm very behind. Let me see. Here we go. Seaver says he still sees VHS out in thrift stores in Kentucky, but they're all crap. Yeah, that's how it is around where I go to. If I do find them, they are indeed crap. You don't have to be too subjective for that description. Either you know a crap VHS when you see one, that's for sure. Let's see, Josh says he still sees them in Indiana. That's good. Evansville, surrounding area, got canceled. Yeah, did it get canceled, Seaver? Yeah, because it just seemed like I know the last episode, it just seemed like they didn't seem like they had any plans to continue it. It just seemed like it was just like, they just like that's what they were just done with. 6 episodes and that we're done. That's all right. They're a very important 6 episodes. It's almost like if it were to keep going, it might not have been as funny. I think, you know what I mean? Maybe that's just my opinion. 4 episodes because I just didn't pay enough attention to. That's too bad for them, Seaver. If they didn't pay too much attention to the jokes, I think that's on them. That's certainly their fault because those jokes are really funny, and of course, it's what you expect from the Abrams. And so yeah, let's see here. Yes, I remember when I was a kid. They had replayed them on CBS. I guess it was probably 89 or 90. I guess to sort of capitalize on the popularity of the Naked Gun film, which had just been released. And they were replaying Police Squad. I remember my dad watching it, and we taped it. And he laughed so hard. I never saw a man laugh that hard before. So that was a great memory. Let's see. Well, this thing is not very user-friendly. Yeah. Thank you, JX. Good to see you, JX. Yes, if I'm not really keyed into all you guys, I am sorry. I do apologize. I'm just trying to make sure all this stuff works properly. Yeah. I knew it did. Yeah, JX. I knew it did. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs did start as a comic. But I really wasn't that into it at the time. I knew I also had an arcade game, a beat 'em up arcade game, which I would have loved to see, but it was not around my area when I was of age or that age. So, whatever. I guess we just didn't have the market for it around here. I don't know. But that's it. I know they did a toy line for it. I'm pretty sure it was Tyco that did a toy line for it, and they just used the old dinosaurs from Dino Riders for it, which is kind of a cheap thing to do, but I understand. You don't want to waste too much money. Larry, good. I do. I am looking forward to seeing that. Another VHS haul video. Those are always fun to see from all of you guys, just to see what you come up with out there in the wild, because things are a little scarce nowadays. Like I always say, man, about 15 years ago, the thrift store market for VHS was popping. I mean, my God, I used to come out of there with so much stuff, and they were only like a quarter each. So, that certainly changed as well. If a store does have VHS, it's usually either $1 or $2, or even, maybe even $3 if they're feeling cheeky, if they're cheeky monkeys about it. But let's see here. That's not what I want. Oh, what are you doing to me? Oh, my God. I just opened some kind of code thing. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, ruthless people. Yes, Seaver, I do appreciate the knowledge, Seaver. Certainly do. Let's see here. What does he say? They aired the last 2 randomly in the summer. This is the secret. Yeah, the Top Secret. That's another great one. Especially with the recent passing of Val Kilmer. I think a lot of people are revisiting Top Secret and realizing just how much of a fun time that was, because that was a really fun movie. So yeah, but obviously, Airplane and Naked Gun are like their key works. The Abrams and them. Let's see, they played. Oh, they did a JX. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know they played it on Comedy Central. I didn't know that, actually. That's funny. That's good. That's where it belongs. It certainly does. Certainly does. Well, let's see here. We got to hear from somebody. What are we doing? All right. Well, let me switch gears here. I just Rocky IV was on TV last night. My rule of thumb is when Rocky IV is on, you watch it no matter what else is going on. And I did watch it, and it put me in mind that I did make a video a few years ago showcasing some out of context material from Rocky 2, Rocky 1 through 3, and I just kind of thought it was fun. It would be fun to watch here because of just these quotes out of context just makes them seem like they're complete lunatics. So let's take a look at the videotape, shall we?
What are we doing here at the zoo?
Hey, Bird. I don't know what to say, because I ain't never talked to no door before, you know?
I'll send you an invitation, Mr. Tiger.
Hey, look who's here. Look who's here.
I can't hold me no more.
The giant worm. I mean, what do I say to a door? Buying candy? You got nobody to spend Thanksgiving with.
Push the button. Bong.
You always tell a creep. I ain't doing fine. Look like an idiot. Don't these birds look like candy, you know?
Woo! Am I talking too loud?
Get a job, you bum. Thanks for the bird.
Yeah!
Do.
Well, I'm at least half a bum.
So bump! Don't fall!
I'm dumb.
You hear
Look at that mountain. I had to get rid of that mountain, though, because they kept falling over.
Do.
Hey, yo.
Ah.
Hey, that was terrific. I'm pretty good at this.
Hey, you gotta be a moron.
Do.
It's a nice couch. I don't know. You gotta be a moron.
Do.
There's big bugs in there, you know.
Let's go after some new meat.
Does it just be like Cinderella and a pumpkin, you know? There's a little thing, I see it. Now you look like a mummy.
Go kill yourself.
I drive airplanes and bulldozers.
Ah. Do.
All right, listen, I'm gonna go now, okay?
It gets me every time. That's I like that very much. Yeah, because it's especially especially in Rocky too. Rocky just has like the most bizarre lines. I mean, I guess it's if you spend your living getting punched in the head, you're going to say some pretty weird stuff because you're just have some mild brain damage. Perhaps you should get that looked at. And he does. That's why I hate and I love Rocky 5 because it opens with right after the fight with Drago from the of course the fourth movie, and he just he's on the verge of just having a psychotic breakdown, a nervous breakdown because his brain is so damaged, and of course it just goes downhill from there. Rocky 5, not the best in the trilogy, just certainly it's very realistic, but it's just very, very depressing. And that's why a lot of people don't like it, because you go from Rocky 4, which, in my opinion, ended the Cold War in such an uplifting film, but then Rocky 5 just immediately breaks into it, that it's like, everything's ruined. And, yeah, that's what would happen now. I mean, that's what people, CTE is a very real thing. Of course, that was long before it was really, officially a condition. It was, of course, there was concussions, sure, but no one really paid attention to it much. But now they certainly do. So Rocky 5, watch it, but also don't watch it. Watch it with one eye open because you're not going to like it if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, don't watch it again. Don't watch it again. It's kind of like washing your car in the rain whilst listening to sad music. That's what it is. Let's see here. All right. What are people saying? Second here. I'm going to tell you what, man. I think I might be using my mobile phone for this in the future because this is crap. Hold on a second. Seaver, have you gotten the chance to see the trailer for the new Jim Varney documentary? No, I do have the book, though, The Importance of Being Earnest. No, I do know they were working on a film for the longest time. I do have the book, and I do sort of know the people behind it, but not very well. I just sort of know them through social media because they know I'm an Ernest fan or a Jim Varney fan. So it's good to know those people. Oh, thank you, Larry. He said the editing is hilarious. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hold on, I can't pop it up. This is ridiculous. See, this is why we're here, folks. This is why we're here. This is a little practice. There we go. Thank you, Larry. Yeah. One of the robots. Sure. Happy birthday, Polly. That's my girl. Just when he's eating that whole pint of ice cream, and then like the robot brings him a beer. It's like, I don't know, man. Ice cream with beer, to me, not a good combination. But to each his own. I do not eat ice cream and drink beer. That is a terrible combination. Um, let's see. There he says, Rocky 4 is Aliens as Rocky 5 is to Alien 3. Yes, that's very, very true. A very depressing sequel to an otherwise great film. Let's see. Is there a Rocky 5? Are you being silly? Are you being silly with that comment, Mr. JX? Yes, there is a Rocky 5. Unfortunately, there is. I think he's being funny. I think he's doing the zanies. Oh, let's see here. Where are we going here? What is happening here, man? This is ridiculous. Let's see. There we go. Yes, happy Friday to you, Auntie Puma, my unofficial honorary aunt. Yes, hello. Yes, Seaver. Yeah, his nephew is making the book, making the documentary based on his book. Yes, I did hear about that. I have to delve into that more deeply, most certainly. What is happening, man? Super 7 action figure. Yeah, Super 7 did make an action figure of the Polly's birthday robot, so you have to check that out. But as far as finding a full-fledged working robot of that size, I don't know if you'll be able to do that, but if you can find that. But I'm sure there probably is somebody that has made it since then. But that's it. So yes, let's see. All right. Again, you have to forgive me. Just this system here is not very user friendly at all. Man, I'm very surprised at this. Rob, how do you do this every week? My God, man. Well, anyways, let's see. What did I want to ask you guys about? I wanted to ask you guys about something. Yes, two things here. What are your opinions and how do you feel about Spaceballs 2? And I just found out yesterday that there is a new Smurf movie coming out, much to everyone's chagrin, with featuring John Goodman as the voice of Papa Smurf, it appears to be, and for some reason Rihanna has been crowbarred in that film. So what are your opinions on Spaceballs 2? Should it have been made? Are you looking forward to it? Or are you like me and just going to go ahead and assume it's going to suck? And why would they make another Smurf movie? Are the Smurfs really even still a thing? I mean, the Smurfs were huge when I was a kid, as well as everybody else was a kid. But are they still a thing enough to really constitute a movie? Another movie? Because they just did a movie a couple years ago with Katy Perry. Remember that? Remember that shit? So I don't know how well that did. So I don't know how well this is going to do. So yes, what do you think out there in YouTube land? What's your opinion? Spaceballs 2, worth it or going to suck? And Smurfs, what's the deal there? Why even bother with a Smurfs movie? So what do you think? Huh? Let's see. We got some stuff going on here. What we got? Yeah, already got that. Arcat Dead, he is excited for Spaceballs 2. Yeah, I'm probably going to give it a chance. Obviously, I'm going to give it a chance, but I'm not going to have any expectations whatsoever. And, yeah, Smurfs, I'll pass. Again, why is there a new Smurfs movie? I mean, do people care about the Smurfs anymore? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, JX has probably a good point. It's probably just a license thing. I do agree with that. Smurfs 2 is probably just, we're seeing how the sausage is made as far as licensing goes, and if you got to keep licenses alive by using the product. So that's probably why they're doing it. I don't know otherwise, but I couldn't think of a reason why they would do it. And it also says Spaceballs is unnecessary and will likely suck. I certainly agree. Though I try to stay positive as much as I can, but I'm also a realist, and I just know how this kind of stuff goes. Especially when you have a sequel so far after the original product. It's clearly just, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're thinking. Spaceballs 2 should have happened probably in 90, and it should have been called Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. All I know is Coming to America 2 really damaged me. I mean, even though I knew what I was getting into, just compared to Coming to America, I mean, it's like, why would you even make a sequel to it? They should have made a sequel like a couple years right after it. It should have been called Coming to Africa, and it should have been about her story after marrying Prince Hakeem and her life in Africa. It should have been, that's what it should have been. You know, people need to ask me this stuff. I'm an idea machine. They would at least do better than how they did. Because I remember hearing that Coming to America 2 was not well received. Basically as well received as Bill and Ted Face the Music. Larry, is that true? They had an animated series to Spaceballs. I did not know that. Please tell me more, because I don't know that. Did they? I didn't know that. Oh, everybody has an animated series nowadays. Yeah, that's curious. Yes. Well, folks, I got to tell you, once I get more used to all this stuff, hopefully the Capnam's Happy Hours will be a lot more engaging and interesting. But it just doesn't seem like this is all that set up to make you use it easily. On the laptop it is, and on the mobile device, one of my 80 years old, it seems like it's a lot easier to use, which usually is the opposite of what it is. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it didn't last long. It was only on G4 TV. G4 TV. Wow, that's man. I used to watch that channel all the time. Is that even still a channel? Man, I used to watch that in the early 2000s. And that's like before, just right before there was like a big like online gaming thing, and it was like consoles were pretty much it, and there were no like internet upgrades and downloads and pay to play kind of shit. It was just like a real game where like either you had cheat codes to unlock something, or you had to like play it and beat it to unlock stuff. You had to do it the hard way. Now everybody just you pay $5, you can get somebody with a like a Smurfette skin or some stupid shit like that, or in the case of like Street Fighter V, wasn't Street Fighter V where you bought the game for $80 and you only got like 3 characters and like two stages, and like you couldn't even play story mode. You had to buy it online. Remember that? You had to buy all the characters. Remember that outrage? That almost caused riots. I remember. Who does that? Fighting games should be, you have your characters, you have your stages. You want to unlock stuff, you got to play it. You got to beat stuff. You got to accomplish things to win stuff. You got to earn it. Remember that? Remember earning stuff? Oh, boy. I tell you. Different times, my friends. Different times. Just like I always say, I wish I could always put, beating Legend of Zelda on a resume, because, that wasn't easy. Beating Metroid that wasn't easy. I had to work at that. That should be something to it really says about your problem solving skills and your patience to achieve a task and all this, and yet they don't acknowledge it. So whatever, that's their loss. They don't know they're missing. I still have yet to beat Zelda 2. However, anybody out there beat Zelda 2? I'm sure you did. Let's see. Whoops, not what I wanted. Man, it's very sensitive mouse pad. Larry agrees with me 100%. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, JX, that's funny. Yeah, I watched it a lot too. Because back then, the only really information you had about games was through like magazines or G4. You didn't have like all this internet stuff. Yeah, timing. Yeah, that was something that Capcom was really all about with Street Fighter. I think SNK really did that too. And SNK really sort of modeled the Capcom fighting game style. Well, of course, like Street Fighter 2, of course, with all their stuff. So yeah, timing was of the essence, as they say. And I know with many, like especially Mortal Kombat 3, of course, it was a specific button combination you had to hit to really nail it, but they were all sort of the same. It was all just kind of, even if you just like got 3 out of the 5 strokes right, you were still just, just button mashing and, you were landing your combos. But, definitely Killer Instinct, yes, has to be the king of the combos, certainly. I remember that game came out in the arcade whenever, I guess it was, 95? But I never heard about it, and I just saw it in the arcade. I'm like, wow, look at this. And I played as Falgor, and I actually did his fatality by accident, which was just, what is it, down to left or down to front, high kick or high punch. And of course, this is the one where he takes his head off. There's a big gun comes out and just like, completely blast your opponent straight to hell. So yeah, that was fun. The 5,000 hit combo, which you really could do with who's it, Cinder. You could do it with Cinder. At least you could do it with Orchid. You could probably do it with everybody, but I was only really good with Orchid doing that because you just like hit it and then like hold back to do like her twirl kick thing, and you just kept doing it. That was great. Third Strike and Darkstalkers. Yeah, Darkstalkers definitely a sleeper hit. A lot of people sleep on Darkstalkers, but that's a good game. Good game. I mean, just Capcom being Capcom. Capcom's just awesome. One of the key game makers, game developers, which I'm glad they teamed up with SNK with the Capcom versus SNK series. That shit was out of control. I was a fan of SNK stuff. I liked World Heroes, Fatal Fury, King of Fighters. That stuff was great. You really can only play it in the arcade when they had those Neo Geo cabinets that had like multiple games you could choose from. Because I didn't know anybody that had a Neo Geo system back then. I mean, that was like, if you had a Neo Geo system back then, shoo. And of course, they eventually released them on Super Nintendo, but they're not the same, are they? They're not the same. Yes, Larry, Fatal Fury was awesome. The whole series was. Let's see. I lost you here. Hold on. These arrows not work? What is going on here? Yeah. Yes, Fatal Fury was awesome. I did play it a lot on Super Nintendo as well as in the arcade. I liked Fatal Fury how like you couldn't choose all the characters. You only had 3 to pick from, at least out the gate to do like the story mode. It wasn't like a free for all. You actually had some kind of structure you had to go by. JX says he got a Neo Geo console recently, so I can pretend like I am a rich teenager in the 90s. Yes, indeed. That is why anybody has a Neo Geo nowadays, to pretend like they are a rich teenager. Oh, we play our Neo Geos while we're in the pool. That's how good we are. Yeah, Metal Slug, absolutely. Yeah, I mean SNK and Neo Geo, they had a lot of fun stuff. Metal Slug, they just did it right. Of course, that whole series was awesome. They had like a lot of like beat 'em up games too. I don't remember any of their names now, but I remember playing them in the arcade in those Neo Geo cabinets, and I haven't seen them since. But yeah, they were just a lot of fun. I think it was Ninja something, and there was, I don't know I can't even describe it to you now. It was almost like, did I dream those games? I don't think I dreamt them, but I might have. I don't know, but they were fun. Let's see. Yeah, Samurai Showdown, definitely a game changer because it incorporated weapons to a fighting game, and They didn't until much later. I think Samurai Showdown 5, was it 5 or 6, that actually did have fatalities in them. So yeah, let me know which one that was, because it wasn't until at least relatively recently they did actual fatalities in Samurai Showdown. JX agrees. Love Samurai Showdown. Yeah, Samurai Showdown was yeah, a fun effing game. Yeah, those carts are what? Yeah, what is the deal with those carts? Those cartridges are huge on Neo Geo. Huge. You did need a buddy to put them in. Was it Ninja Warrior? Because Ninja Warriors was a different thing. Not by SNK, but it might have been something like that. JX. I don't know. All I know is it was a beat 'em up, and one of the levels was in an amusement park. That probably doesn't help, but that's all I can say. Yeah, Larry agrees with us. Those carts are ridiculous. They are ridiculous, most certainly. Also remember liking remember Super Spy? That was an interesting game. That was like one of the very first person perspective games, and it was, you just like saw your fist and you could like punch people and use guns and stuff like that. It was like I don't know, it was like an action game, but it was like a first person perspective. It's just very interesting at the time. So $400 a cart. Yeah, that's definitely what you're looking at right now. There, JX, is that the prices? And I wonder if they're going down at all. And it's cool because back then they actually made stuff to last, so that stuff's going to work if you buy it now. Hey, Mondo Cinema's here. Hey, what's going on, Mondo? How's it going, buddy? How you been? Let me know, man. What's going on? What's new with you, brother? Good to hear from you. Yes. So yeah, that was a fun conversation. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that, Mondo. Very glad to hear that. Oh man. Oh, another 200 is the cheapest you will see. Okay, I bet you that's even rare too to see them for that cheap. Wow. Yeah, well, that's how it goes, I guess. I mean, that system was rare back in the day, and it's clearly it's just as rare nowadays. At least the price reflects that. You know what really should have been illegal was the 3DO. That was what a pile of shit that was. That system was like $800 when it first came out, and they bragged how good it was, and that those games were just absolute tosh. I mean, just terrible. There was no reason for that, to have that kind of technology for that system. They just completely shit the bed on that one. Yeah, they should be ashamed of themselves. And what was it? CDI? Same thing with CDI. I think had those branch off Zelda games that really weren't technically licensed by Nintendo, but they technically were just enough, and like they were just terrible, just absolute trash. Yeah, JX was garbage. Yeah, but I mean that came out right before DVDs came out, so I don't know. I mean, it could have been retroactively. If you had one, you could probably play a DVD in it, but I don't know if that's what they were intended for. I don't know. I never knew anybody that had one. I really wanted to get one when I was a kid because it had a really cool, at least I thought it looked really cool, Jurassic Park game, which turns out to be garbage as well. So I'm glad that never happened. I'm glad we never got that in my family. And I never knew anybody that had them. But, people clearly did. Yeah, I think the best example of a game from that was the Alien versus Predator. That I think that was the only decent game that was on that system, as far as I know. I mean, everything else just looked like it was just such shit. I know they had a Super Street Fighter 2 for that. I don't know, was that any good? The thing with like CD-ROM games is like you had to like have this just shit loading time, and it just wasn't. It really just took you right out of the action to have this loading time, So, hey, Professor's here. Hello, Professor. Hello, Professor. How you doing, Professor? It is glad to have you here. Yes. Thank you for joining me, Professor. Oh yeah, video CDs. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, JX, I don't know if you're that wrong at all. I don't think you're wrong at all. The thing is, it might have been able to play DVDs like retroactively without even them knowing it. Like if you had one, you probably could play a DVD in there. Who knows? But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I know CD. It was the CD. No. CDI, right? CDI. Yeah, that had like what was it, Mario's Hotel, which apparently is a pretty fun game, but still it's like, why is it on that system? It easily just could have been a 16-bit game. I don't know. Never knew anybody with a CDI or a 3DO. How about you guys out there? Did you know anybody with such bullshit as those two systems? I knew somebody with a Sega CD. I mean, that was my first experience with being tremendously disappointed with a video game system. It made me realize that, you know what? I don't need to stray too much further than my Super Nintendo. I was a Super Nintendo guy, a Nintendo guy, tried and true. Super Nintendo was a great system. I didn't think, I know maybe some of you out there were Genesis people. I never liked Genesis. I thought they were very, very lackluster. And, but I mean, their Aladdin version was better. The Jurassic Park version was better. I know, like their Mortal Kombat had the fatalities, but still, like the graphics and the sound and like the animation just kind of sucked compared to the Super Nintendo version. And of course, Super Nintendo got it together with Mortal Kombat 2 and on, when they actually included blood and fatalities. So that's good. Good for them. Yeah, I thought Super Nintendo was just a superior system. I never noticed any difference between the two with Earthworm Jim. I thought they were both. Pretty much, they played basically the same. There wasn't too much of a difference. Professor, hey, Captain, everybody just saying hi. Yes, shiver your timbers yourself, silly. I be good, Professor. Just got in for my lunch break. Lunch, it's a bit late for lunch, isn't it? So supper break. It's your supper break. Or dinner break. You have supper later. Professor, this is not Tape Talk. This is a tester stream for a new show I'm doing with Captain Adam's Happy Hour. I just wanted to get everything configured for Friday Night Tape Talk coming up soon. Of course, the Where's Rob edition of Friday Night Tape Talk coming up here shortly. So no apologies necessary, Professor, for your tardiness. You are quite fine. Nothing wrong. When I found it, let me show this. This is pretty good. Oh, Captain, I forgot to mention to you that when I found Laserdisc, they also had those video discs that were before Laserdisc, the ones you all spoke of. Oh, CEDs, the mysterious CEDs that for some reason nobody wants, but also everyone wants. They're very interesting pieces. Nobody wants them because there's nothing you can't do anything with them. It's almost impossible to find a working CED player. If you do want them, if anybody does want them, they're usually just for display pieces, and they're weird to display because, of course, they're like records, so you have to display them long ways to see the cover, so you have to mount them to your wall. You really can't put them on a shelf because there is basically no spine to display. So that CEDs, a lot of problems, but I do know a lot of people who are into them, at least to some degree, but they do not include watching them. CEDs are very interesting. Oh, the record player of physical media. That's what CEDs are. They are records for movies. Professor Macabre mentioning I don't know if you want to go around spouting stuff about Master Race, Professor, but that's that's up to you. I wouldn't. I would choose a different word. Different words. Hey, public distrust is here. It's funny you say that. So did I. We could never see it though, could we? It was always having work done, or it was being washed, or something like that. Um, you know, make some track. What a guy! What a guy! Also, if you guys knew what we were talking about, you'd be laughing your asses off right now because that guy was funny. But he was like unintentionally funny. You know what I mean? Like at the time, it was, I guess, maybe sad. But I don't know. Looking back, it was just I'm glad to know him. Super NES was overall better for sure. Thank you, JX, for the agree. I know, like there was, especially in my school, there was like two different camps: is either Genesis or Super Nintendo, and people were. It was almost like West Side Story with game consoles. And it was like there were people that were just totally Genesis or totally Super Nintendo, and there was no in between. Yeah, Larry. Yeah, same here, dude. I mean, I had a lot of fun with my Super Nintendo. I mean, Super Metroid, of course, the Zelda game for that. Of course, you can't beat Super Mario World. Well, you can beat it technically, you know what I mean. But it's it's a fun game. That's what I should say. Of course, Super Punch Out. I mean, just a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Even the Alien 3 game for Super Nintendo was a pretty fun time, even though it didn't make any sense if you're matching it with the movie, because like you played as Ripley and she had the shaved head and you were on the prison planet, just like in Alien 3. However, you had the gun she had in Aliens, so it didn't make a lot of sense. That was not accurate to the film, but they were just capitalizing on the popularity of the film. And, because what else, if you didn't have that gun, what were you going to have? I mean, Alien 3, they didn't have any weapons. Like, one of the guys had like a pair of scissors in Alien 3. Remember that? What the hell? Yeah, Alien 3 is a weird movie, man. I don't know about Alien 3. I mean, I don't know. Alien 3, like, by itself is fine, but if you're going to watch the trilogy, you're going to get from Alien to Aliens to Alien 3. That's asking a bit much, I think. I think if you watch Alien 3 by itself without really watching the first two films, at least in a long time, I think you're going to have a better experience than you would watching Alien 3 right after Aliens. Like, don't do a rock block of the Alien trilogy. You're not going to do yourself any favors. Let's see here. Still early in my neck of the woods. What are you saying, Professor? Hold on. This damn mouse, whatever it is, not even a mouse. It's just a little clicky patty thing. Let's see, Professor. Still early in my neck of the woods. 3 p.m. where you are. Interesting. Yeah, I guess you're on Western time. Western time? Is that a thing? I don't know. You're okay, Professor. You're okay. You got plenty of time. Yeah, and some torches. I don't know what's going on with the weapons in Alien 3, because it's like, it's a maximum security prison, so obviously they're not going to have a lot of weapons in case the people break out and they want to have a weapon party, and then they, everybody gets lice and everybody dies. That's great. Alien 3, not much reward there, is there? Not much reward. And my money's on Alien Resurrection. Now that's a film. How do you guys feel about Alien Resurrection? Do you guys like Alien Resurrection? I like the Alien Resurrection. Definitely brings it back home, doesn't it? It brings it back home to the more action, actiony than Alien 3 does. I mean, I don't know. Alien 3, like I said, just watch it by itself. Don't watch Aliens, then watch Alien 3. Because to me, it's always been Aliens is like, of course, a sci-fi horror film, more horror than action, right? Aliens is more action than horror. Alien 3 is just really depressing and soul crushing, and there happens to be xenomorphs in it. Well, just one xenomorph, and that's about it. And nobody has any weapons except scissors and torches. Yay! And lice. They have lice. Let's see what we got here. This. Jags, I think that's a lot of people's opinions on that particular subject. Alien 3 just sort of odd man out there, isn't it? Captain is being sarcastic. Oh no. No, I am being real. I am being honest about it. You didn't like Alien Resurrection? I liked it. I liked it very much. You didn't like it? Or are you being sarcastic? I can't tell anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alien Resurrection, wasn't it the same director who did like Delicatessen and Amelie, and or am I ridiculous? Oh no, we have a detractor here. Larry loves Alien 3. He says it's great. Well, everybody's got their own opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion. I'm sure there's people out there that think 3DO is a great game system. Who am I to say? Who am I to say? Good documentary about making the 3 and why it's so bad. I'll have to look that up. Do you know what that's called, JX? Is it called Wreckage and Rage? Is that what it is? I didn't get your comment in time. Yeah, the French director. Oh, sacre bleu! Sacre bleu! We will make the Alien movie. Yes. Yeah, Wreckage and Rage. Thank you, Jax. I have to check that out, actually. Yeah, I often wondered why it turned out the way it did. Like a lot of times, there's deadlines and there's like last minute script changes, or people bail out of the project, they fire the writers, things change. Hence, Predator 2. Predator 2 was supposed to be a totally different film than what we got. Predator 2 was supposed to star Patrick Swayze and have Schwarzenegger in it, reprising the role of Dutch. But that did not happen because Swayze was injured on the set of Roadhouse, and they had to pivot, call an audible, and had to punt the ball, and they were just crunched for time, so they just they got the movie we got. And I don't think it's bad. I just think it's calling it Predator 2 is a bit inaccurate. It just should be called something else. It's not a sequel to Predator. It's just another Predator movie. That is not what they intended. They wanted to be like a direct sequel to the first Predator, and of course Dutch was supposed to be involved as some kind of consultant and all that, but it just didn't happen. So I'm not going to do Predator 2. If you don't have Swayze, you don't have Schwarzenegger. Deal with it. Let's see what Professor has to say about himself. Let's see here. I like Brad Dourif and Ron Perlman and Sigourney Weaver in Resurrection, and the failed Ripley clone. Yeah, the failed Ripley clone room was terrifying. Definitely a very, very terrible scene of that film. Terrible, but good. But good. Yeah, definitely leaves an impact. But that's what it would be. And I don't know if you have like some kind of afflicted life form asking you to kill them to put them out of their misery. Would you use a flamethrower? I would use something a little bit more quicker than that, but maybe that's all she had. I had to watch it again. I don't remember. Still a flamethrower. Not the most merciful choice, because that takes a while to burn to death. If you're not familiar with burning to death, it does take a little while. And so, yeah, she had to lay there being mutated and horribly disfigured through genetic experiments, and had to be burnt to death. She probably could have done without that. But yeah, cool scene though, sad scene, but definitely impactful for the momentum of the film. Yeah. All right, that's basically what happens to a lot of these films. We can armchair quarterback all the stuff we want, but there's a lot of deeper rooted stuff to them than what we just think, what we just see. There's like a lot of stuff. You got to go through a lot of crap to make a film. And a lot of that crap doesn't always line up. Terminator series. Yes, Professor, we talk about this on the show. Well, at least I talk about it on my channel a lot, and we talk about it on Friday Night Tape Talk a lot as well. Aliens and the Terminator franchise definitely stop with 2, at least for the most part. And I will always talk about Terminator 3, how I do like it, to an extent, but it's also, I just think it's unnecessary. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's unnecessary. And why is Claire Danes in it? I mean, I don't get it, but whatever. It's whatever. Well, whatever. I just don't know why they had a Terminator 3. When you kind of wrapped it up, didn't you? The second one? No, there was one more chip. And apparently that's apparently that wasn't true. Yeah, we're having fun. Having fun here, aren't we, folks? Yes. So yeah, Terminator 3. I remember the video game for PS2 was pretty fun though for Terminator 3. The T3 game for PS2 was pretty fun. Yeah, Warlock, definitely another one that the Warlock film series, definitely another one that probably maybe shouldn't have went beyond one, but yeah, two was okay. But after that, it's like, yeah, I think I'd rather pee in my own mouth than watch them. Oh boy. Again, thanks everybody for watching tonight. This is just a tester stream to see if I know what I'm doing when it comes to live streams, and I kind of do now. I'm getting the hang of it. Thank you for being along with my journey here on the live stream ineptitude. And just reminding everybody to, of course, stay tuned to Friday Night Tape Talk with Rob and the Captain. Tonight's special Where's Rob edition, because there's not going to be a Rob. There's no Rob. We got to find out where Rob is for Friday Night Tape Talk with Rob and the Captain. Of course, it's a simulcast on both this channel and Rob's Vintage Video right here on YouTube. So definitely check us out, or at least check me out. We might be hearing from Rob from a undisclosed location. I'm not sure though, but we'll have to find out. Thank you, Professor. Yes, yeah. I mean, I was being a bit extreme on that. I was exaggerating, but I don't think I would do that. I'll just watch something else, but it gets my point across, doesn't it? Let's see. Thank you, JX. I appreciate the encouragement. Yeah, it's just weird. Like, this setup just doesn't seem like it should be better on desktop than it is on mobile, but it's like the reverse. Like the mobile version, there isn't even a mobile version. You can just use it on your phone, but it works better than this. I don't get that. Yes, Professor, I don't know if that's true. It could be true. We'll have to find out. You have to tune in to find out what happened to Rob here later tonight. He could very well be abducted, or, who knows? He could have been swooped up by human traffickers. Probably. That's what happens. Let's see. Do I have anything else to show? Anything else to bother you guys with? Yeah, it's a bummer about that. Can't believe they sent me the wrong copy for that. Man, it sucks. Well, I'm just going to show it again then, since I got. Hey, now don't you want to go to the Vintage Expo? The Vintage Expo Toy and Tape Show.
It's the Vintage Expo Toy and Tape Show, Sunday, August 10th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Wakahoo Grange Hall, 16412 National Pike, Hagerstown, Maryland. Come and shop and find great deals on toys and comics, collectibles, Funko Pops, Pez dispensers, Hot Wheels and die-cast vehicles, VHS, DVDs, and rare books, plus vintage board games, tons of Star Wars toys, cool shirts and nostalgic apparel, and much, much more.
Hey, now don't you want to go to the Vintage Expo?
Vintage Expo Toy and Tape Show, Sunday, August 10th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Wakahoo Grange Hall, 16412 National Pike, Hagerstown, Maryland.
Hey, now don't you want to go to the Vintage Expo?
Free admission, free parking, all ages.
The Vintage Expo Toy and Tape Show. Yes. Yeah, I didn't. That came up too quick. I didn't have a chance to really give any kind of pretext to that. If you haven't seen that yet, yes, that's. I have that coming up in August. I know most of you are nowhere near where it's happening, but just in case you are, just in case you want to make the trip, it's there. There it is. And let's see here. Professor, that's another good theory. He could be a Seymour Skinner, and he has to use the auto retract on the vacuum cleaner to help him out. That could be it. We'll find out, though, won't we? We'll find out. Oh, look how nice you're being. The captain has a melodious voice, perfect made for commercials. Thank you, Professor. I should also say that takes a lot of takes to do that. It doesn't just come off naturally. Sometimes you have to do take after take to get that perfect cake. You know what I'm saying? Right here on Captain Adams VHS Pirate Ship on YouTube. Well, I think I've done enough damage for now. I'm going to go ahead and put a bow on this bad boy and shut her down for this. But please stay tuned right here on Captain Adams VHS Pirate Ship for Friday Night Tape Talk with Rob and the Captain for the very special Where's Rob edition of Friday Night Tape Talk with Rob and the Captain as we try to figure out where Rob is. Thank you for joining me tonight on Captain Adams Happy Hour. Just a little test here to see if everything works okay. The settings seem to be okay. I'm just getting used to this format. Just very strange how the mobile version, which isn't even a mobile version, works better than this version, which is a desktop version, which you would think would work better than the mobile version, which isn't even a mobile version. It's a desktop version on a mobile. So I don't know. I don't get it. I gave up long ago trying to figure anything out. I'm just kind of getting by on a hope and a prayer, and that's all we really can do. That's all we can do. Professor, no, you did not get in late. You're fine. Absolutely. This is sort of a spur of the moment thing. I just wanted to make sure everything was, good to go. At least I halfway knew what I was doing before I engaged in manning Friday Night Tape Talk all by myself, because Rob usually is the helmsman when it comes to that. So I certainly have even more respect for him than I did before, because he has to do all this shit himself. While I just sit here and drink beer and make fart noises and talk about butt stuff. But so no, you're not late at all. There's nothing to apologize for, my friend. But thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Yes, Larry, I will see you in a bit. Hopefully you're set up for the moderation on that. I hate to put you through that, but I think you might be the moderator. I don't know. Because I know this is actually, the Friday Night Tape Talk is a simulcast as well. It'll be going through Rob's Vintage Video channel as well as mine. So simulcast, a show is so fun. You can't just have one channel, at least. I screwed that up. Well, anyways, I'm gonna shut her down, folks. Thank you for stopping by, and take care now.
Captain Adams Happy Hour. This has been Captain Adams Happy Hour, right here on Captain Adams VHS Pirate Ship. Thank you for watching, and remember, all panties are edible if you try hard enough. Captain Adams Happy Hour.